Hi, I'm Skye.
And I'm Tracy. And today we're going to be talking about food protection from animals.
This is important because animals will eat your food if it is unprotected because they are always hungry.
So some things that we can talk about are bear boxes, a critter line, and the Z-drag.
Some considerations when you are protecting your food from animals is if you do have a vehicle with you, it is best to keep your food in there. If you don't, then you can use some of the following techniques. Also, you want to make sure that your food line is at least 20 feet upwind from your campsite. Bear boxes are a great way of protecting your food from bears. This is because they are very strong boxes and you can lock your food in them. They aren't at every campsite. You can bring your own, but some campsites already have them available. If they are not available, we just suggest hanging your food. But this is a really good technique if they're available for you.
The first thing we're going to talk about is the critter line, and the first step is to find 2 decent-sized trees. So we can start looking around for some trees. This one looks good. This one is a perfect-sized tree because the diameter is more than 6 inches, and I can't fit my hands around it. So it's strong enough to hold our food pack. And I'll use this one as well. So the first step is I'll tie this webbing around the tree at about the same height as myself, and I'll just do an overhand knot with the webbing. Okay, and then I'll take this rope and I'll bring it over here and tie a water knot loop right about to where you think it'll meet up. And then I'll bring it around the tree. And then I'll follow this water knot with the other end of the rope to make a loop go around the tree. So that looks about right. And then I'll follow this water knot loop that I made. Okay, so after you get that through, you can move this up to where a decent height would be above your head. And then you have a critter line. Okay, so now that you have your line, you can take your food pack and put a carabiner on and just hook it right onto the line. So this is good because squirrels and raccoons, they can't get to the food bag. But for bears, one way to modify this is to move it up higher in the trees so that the bears aren't able to reach it. But this is your classic critter line.
The next thing we're going to talk about is the Z-drag. This is best used for protection from bears and wolves and other big predator-type creatures. The best way to figure out where you want to do your line is to look for a tree, and we have already found a very nice tree. And you want to make sure your line's about 12 feet off the ground, ours is, and you want it about 6 feet away from the base of the tree. So if a black bear were to come climb it, they couldn't get out to it still. The next thing we're going to do is find a good anchor, because we need to have an anchor so we can pull our food up. Looking around here, I'd say this tree is probably our best anchor. It's over 6 inches in diameter. Looks pretty sturdy, good root system. I think we're good to go. So I'm going to use this piece of webbing to make our anchor line, our anchor sling, whatever you want to call it. And then I'm just going to do a basic overhand knot. Alright, so now that we have our overhand knot, we are going to do another overhand knot on the bite up here so we can hold the carabiner. And that just looks like that. And then we're going to just put a carabiner on there. Alright, we're good to go. Our anchor's ready. Then we're going to come over to our line over here. And we're just going to put that into the carabiner. Normally we'd have a brake prusik, but since our load is not too heavy and we're not too worried about it falling 12 feet, we're just going to do a traveling prusik, and I'll show you how that's done. Alright, so this is how you do a traveling prusik. We're going to take the load line, which is where our load will be held. In this case, it is our cooler full of food. We're going to wrap it around 1, 2, 3 times. And then we're just going to pull and kind of dress that nicely so no knots are over going the other one. This is kind of what it should look like. Alright, and then with this access line, we're going to take the line that we're not using and use the carabiner. Just put these two together. Just like that. Now, we are ready to pull our load up. Got a lot of food in the cooler. And we're just trying to pull it up, so take our load line. Get it around here. And then I'm just going to do a regular overhand knot here, just to ensure that it's all together. And then just to ensure it doesn't fall, I'm going to just do another one right up here. Alright, now we can start pulling. And you just want to move that traveling prusik up. There we go. And now our anchor is all ready to go. Our load line's ready to go. The only thing we are missing is a brake prusik, but since this isn't too heavy, we don't really need one. So we're just going to pull until we get the two carabiners together. And what you do in this instance is you just pull our traveling prusik right back up there. And then we're going to pull until we run out of slack again. And then just go as high as you can with that traveling prusik. And then you just pull again until your carabiners meet. one more time until that cooler is nice and high and at the top of our branch.
Okay, so now that we know how to do Z-Drag, critter line, and use bear boxes, some ethical considerations to think about are why we shouldn't feed these animals. Feeding animals such as bears or raccoons or squirrels can make them much more aggressive towards humans. So for the safety of yourself and others, make sure to protect your food. This has been Tracy
And Skye,
with Food Protection in the Wilderness.
we hope that you know how to protect your food.